Hello, I am Yage, the Talking Sunglasses, and today I'll be talking about the YouTuber Inabber. He has around 886,000 subscribers and, recently started streaming on Twitch and uploading clips to YouTube. He has been on the platform for a long time, with his account being created in 2010. And in that time, he's talked about a lot of things, a lot of different topics. There's so many videos about YouTubers and YouTube drama. Any channel will have some good and some bad takes. But recently, and by that I mean over the last year or so, Inabber has been on a hot streak of bad takes. So I thought I would talk about some of them. Because Inabber seems like, an alright guy, and I was a fan at one point. He was one of the channels that kind of got me into commentary. I'll talk about a couple that I like too. Just be a little fair, I guess. With that being said, let's dive on into Inabber, the good, the okay, and the awful. So some of the best videos on his channel, in my opinion, are honestly his videos on Girl Defined. I mean, they're usually pretty funny, and when he does them with James Merritt, they usually have pretty good chemistry, which just kind of adds to the laughs, I guess. But also when there is a decent, when there needs to be a point made, he generally has a decent one for them. So I know the topic itself is usually pretty middle of the road, but because it's usually just for some laughs, I personally enjoyed them. His Blair White video is honestly one of his better made videos. Getting the interview with Janae Marie Kroc was a great idea, and I think it worked out well. It looked like they had a good discussion, and because he did what Blair didn't and actually talked to her, I think it just added a lot to the video. And I mean, the rest of the points in the video were fairly decent as well. Like I said, overall, I think it's one of his best videos. I also did enjoy his back and forth with that vegan teacher. It was kind of what kept me on his channel after the videos on Eugenia Cooney and Zoe Laverne and his millions of videos on Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, and Onision. But we're not talking about those yet. Now, I know the vegan teacher is a very average, easy target, but it was much more entertaining than Predator Watch with Inabber. And also because she was responding directly to him, it did make it a little bit more fun to watch. Speaking of funny back and forths, I loved the couple Social Repose videos. Part of that is because Social Repose is a loser that will respond to most things and respond in the same predictable way pretty much every time. But with that one in particular, Inabber was just making a little bit of fun of him and some of his cringy as hell music and videos. And he got so butthurt about it. I mean, it was just another fun one to watch, and honestly, I think that's what he should stick to doing. I think he needs to take things less seriously and stop talking about predators and stuff. But don't worry, we're getting there. Just one quick pit stop. Alright, so this section will be quick. I just needed to add it to make the title make sense. But was a small creator at one point. Most of his back catalog is kind of your average drama commentary stuff. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, my content is okay on a good day. Okay, I can deal with. I can watch an okay video. But over the last year, maybe year and a half, I think he has had some really dumb, narrow-minded views on some heavy topics, and just some dumb takes on some other things. So here is where we get into the true meat of this video. So I'll start this section off by talking about a couple of the most kind of recent situations that other people were being called out for, that he was honestly part of that narrative. Because he was slightly less stupid than the people with the same viewpoint, he managed to skirt under the radar somehow. So let's start with Eugenia Cooney. So in the last year, he has made about 5 videos on Eugenia, and the best way to describe honestly all of them is concern trolling. Pretending like he cares about Eugenia and her fans and just wants them to be better. No, I think he was just being an asshole. spreading the same bullshit narratives that the rest of the T channels were spreading at the time. And even now, I'm still seeing morons like this on Twitter everywhere. Idiots everywhere. Anyways, 3 of the videos were on the Discord stuff. And yes, there was some valid criticism to be had towards Eugenia. But I personally don't really think it was warranted 3 videos that are they're all a decent length too. And they're all just him repeating himself and pretty much just saying that she's a danger to her community. You know, the same bullshit that everyone else spews. It's fucking ridiculous. That the Discord situation, there is valid criticism to be made. But the Pro Anna shit is just bullshit. His most recent Eugenia Cooney videos are where the concerned trolling is really turned to 11. He says, oh, she should get help and leave the platform, and she shouldn't have done this, or this creator shouldn't have done that, or while actively contributing to a narrative that could be actually damaging to anyone. He's just so fucking stupid. I mean, his most recent one came out around the same time Belle Aubrey and Repzilla were really kind of essentially trying to deplatform her because she's pro Anna. I mean, she's not, and these people are stupid assholes. Now, Belle and Repzilla both got called out by Willie Mack for this. And I'll link his channel below because honestly, he's great. And his videos were really, really well done. Like I said, I never managed to slip under the radar somehow. So he starts off his first video talking about this part of it by talking about other problematic YouTubers like the Pauls and Tenamongu before essentially saying that she's problematic because she's sick.
Hello my beautiful dumplings. Now I feel like we need to talk about the whole social media sphere, because this sphere is mainly known for its problematic creators such as Jake Paul, Tana Mojo, Logan Paul, and even those TikTokers who, well, to say at the least, are, well, pretty dodgy around kids. Somebody like Eugenia Cooney, it is much more complicated.
Hey guys, it's Eugenia. So today I'm going to be doing a video that I'm really excited to do. So today I'm going to be doing a video trying the new Jeffree Star Blood Money palette.
Now I don't necessarily think that you need an introduction here. Eugenia Cooney is somebody that at this point I feel like most of us on this channel know. She is a dubbed makeup channel.
She has anorexia, and like everyone else who pretends to care about Eugenia, he thinks she is a bad influence on her young fans because she has anorexia. The funny thing is, a lot of his first video is him talking about other creators like Onision, who was a giant asshole, and Shane Dawson, who did the documentary a few months after, and he full out just like blames Shane Dawson for her relapse, which kind of feels like he's just trying to find anything to hate about Shane. Like, I get it, Shane Dawson, not a great dude, boring videos. But you can't just blame him for everything. And what I find extra ridiculous about this video, though, is that he spends the whole thing, you know, concerned about Eugenia Cooney, and then just discounts her, saying that if people think that watching her is bad for their mental health, don't watch her. How is she pro Anna when she is saying things like that in her videos? It is just so disingenuous and you're looking for a bad guy. You're looking for a reason to not like this girl.
But I also want to speak about the people who, in my opinion, have vehemently taken advantage of Eugenia's issues and her problems and converted that into genuinely hateful videos whilst putting on a facade of care. Because in July of 2019, only 5 months after Eugenia publicly stated that she is now getting help, Shane Dawson released a documentary titled The Return of Eugenia Cooney, where he went to Eugenia's house, confronted her, only 5 months after she said that she is getting help. And my obvious issue, and I think a lot of other people's issue, is that this documentary was released, as I just said, only around 6 or 5 months after a very terrible situation involving Eugenia and her getting help. You have to think about the mental strain this could put on Eugenia only a few months after getting help, help her then being put on some YouTube channel which is getting 30 million views. And I fully understand that Eugenia did invite Shane into her home to discuss these issues, but at the end of the day, in multiple situations involving Eugenia, she has denied having an ED and simply said that she is naturally skinny, her condition is natural.
Are you ready for me to prove you guys wrong, Freely the Banana Girl in Onision?
You know, on social media, there are a lot of creators that do a lot of messed up things, especially in 2020. But for me, it's never a shock that this guy, Onision, is always the lowest common denominator of any YouTuber out there. This guy, it's just utter garbage. But getting into it, in the past, Onision has had this history of posting celebratory tweets every single time Eugenia apparently is getting better. I mean, just look at this tweet, for example. When Eugenia's disorder claims her, yes, he actually said that. He put that on a social media platform which millions of people could see, and for saying that was a good thing, I plan to make a video featuring everyone who ignored/condoned her disorder. You should have helped her. Ah yes, the beacon of hope himself, Onision.
I never want that for you, so if you do feel like my content has like a bad impact on your mental health, then you definitely do not have to watch me at all. Again, I'm not forcing anyone to watch me.
Now personally, I don't believe that Eugenia should be outright removed from YouTube, but I do think that she needs to fully acknowledge that these thumbnails and her titles and her YouTube channel in general can cause dangers and have caused dangers in situations in the past before. Even outside of Eugenia Cooney's situation, I believe that body checking content on YouTube is a bad place to be. I don't think it does any good for anyone's mental health. I think it's severely damaging for a lot of people out there. So I think this stuff just needs to be prevented. And while she might not agree that is her fault, at the end of the day, her channel and her beliefs have caused inspiration for a lot of younger people out there. But at the same time, when it comes to sending her hateful messages, I feel like these people are doing no different to what Onision does. Don't cover your
How does he not see that he's doing this? Also, I did obviously kind of cut that up for time. There's obviously a lot more to his video, but that's a pretty good summary of his entire fucking video. And honestly, that last clip of that video that I just showed honestly pisses me off. What fucking evidence do you have that she is pro-Anna other than her thumbnail? Oh, look at her body. Fuck off. Seriously. That's something that nobody seemed to have any actual evidence for, but everyone just fucking held firm on, is that she's pro-Anna. How? How is she pro-Anna? And stop with this save the kids argument bullshit. I see right through it. I mean, I'm a dad. I will be and when my kid is old enough to be watching YouTube and stuff, I fully know that it is not on the fucking creator to manage that. That is on the parents. It is. And honestly, no one can fucking change my mind on that. YouTubers aren't my kid's fucking babysitter. Also, just a small nitpick, he essentially made the same video a few months apart and titled them the same. Seriously, I don't know how he slid under the radar for so long. There's not much more for me to say about this situation without rehashing things from the whole drama a couple months ago. So let's move on to another person who was also kind of part of this drama a few months ago, Gabby Hanna. Like with Eugenia, there is valid criticism to be thrown at Gabby Hanna, but like the other T channels, and yes, I do see him as a T channel, he piled on and kind of helped blow things out of proportion. He is one of the few that had actually talked to Gabby and had stopped for a little bit, but then he kept going. And honestly, with the Gabby stuff, he's definitely not the worst offender, but it's still worth mentioning. His Shane Dawson videos are honestly some of the ones that I just can't stand watching. I mean, between all the cat jokes, I don't know why, but those really bug me. And him kind of moral grandstanding about all this like past stuff coming out, and I just find him incredibly annoying with this topic. He just seems kind of self-righteous sometimes. And he has said that he was a fan, so he had probably seen at least some of that content. But as soon as other people started talking about his past content, like the blackface and the inappropriate jokes, which, again, valid criticism, he completely turned on Shane. And which, I mean, I also stopped watching Shane at a point, but that's because he's friends with Jeffree Star and his content got very, very boring. But anyways, Inabber has made a couple videos on why he doesn't think Shane should come back, and how now he doesn't forgive Shane Dawson, and I don't know why, but that one annoyed me to no fucking end. Who cares if you forgive him? Don't watch him. I don't. If he wants to come back and make his boring documentaries, let him. And I mean, he has said that he's not going to be talking about him anymore in his last one. So there we go. Hopefully that topic will die. The next little bit, I'll be talking about some of his videos and takes on like the internet predator stuff. Fun stuff, you know? Let's start with the one that I don't know why, but him and Jay Aubrey's take on this one bugged me. So Zoe Laverne, when she was 19, she was exposed for dating a 13-year-old boy. Now this is wrong. She should definitely not have a platform. I mean, she should not. I don't think she should have a platform for a lot of reasons. But this being the main one. The way she responded to all of it, horribly stupid. Like, really, really bad. But painting her as a dangerous TikTok predator, I don't know. It seems a little overkill to me. Now, Jay Aubrey did a similar thing with his video. Inabber, it was more implied, but essentially acting like Zoe is the biggest predator on the platform, I think is disingenuous. And it makes it seem like TikTok doesn't have people who are actively predatory all the time. I'm just some moron being a moron. I don't know. Like I said, she shouldn't have a platform at this point. But Inabber takes it one step further. And he also does this with his James Charles stuff. And I think his take on why they aren't in jail is just really stupid.
Will James Charles actually go to jail? And as I said earlier, I do not believe he will. He's in an extreme position of privilege. He's a multi-millionaire who contributes to the American economy. He is somebody who is a powerful figure with lots and lots of lawyers. No doubt in my mind, he has the best in the world. I think this guy could probably get out of absolutely everything he was possibly involved in. And that's so terrible, but that is just how the justice system works in this world.
No, I never. It's not because of fame, money, or good legal teams. It's because YouTube videos aren't evidence. The authorities don't use YouTube exposed videos to arrest people. That only happens with like extreme cases. Honestly, this kind of stuff is like that. This kind of take is why I don't think he should be covering these heavy. He obviously has such a narrow-minded view of how the world and the legal system works. All of James's accusations, yeah, they should probably be looked into. But that can only happen if the accusers report it. Zoe Laverne, that one, there is hard evidence. That one's a little bit weird, but I mean, at the very least, yeah, she maybe should have lost her platform, or at least a lot of fans. But again, she's not in jail because she's famous and has money and all this stuff. It's because nobody pressed charges. Also, a little side note, people like this don't lose a lot of fans when they get exposed like this, because a lot of the time the information ends up being confined in exposed videos and stuff like that, and their core audience don't watch that kind of thing. There's a few others from the last year and a half that I could cover, like his millions of Jeffree Star videos. I don't like Jeffree Star either, but honestly, just stop talking about him and hopefully he'll go away. And I feel the same way about Onision. I mean, Onision is different because if you want Onision to stop being a giant asshole online, stop covering him being a giant asshole online. Stop talking about him. Like, he's known for doing the crazy shit, so the bad press is good press. So just stop. Plus, it's honestly, nothing will ever happen with any of it. I mean, we can always keep an eye on him, but I think it's a dead topic. Leave it alone. With that all being said, I'm getting a little rambly here. Let's wrap this video up here. Overall, I have nothing against Inabber. I mean, he's got a large fan base, and honestly, he's only awful with certain topics. Personally, I do enjoy him when he's not taking anything too seriously. He can be a pretty funny guy, unless he's making Shane Dawson cat jokes. I don't know why those jokes annoy me, but I hate them so fucking much. And honestly, I turn off videos when I hear them sometimes. But that is it for the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below or over on Twitter at Yage YT with a 3 instead of an E. And leave me a follow while you're there. I occasionally say things. Like this video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. Subscribe if you want more. I've been Yage, the Talking Sunglasses, and I'll see you next time.